विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिने इति नामिने।
विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिने नामिने।
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे।
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय राधा माधव राधे
जय राधा माधव राधे।
जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा।
जय जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा।
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव।
जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव।
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज।
जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज।
जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व।
जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व।
जय प्रभुपाद Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Anand Koti Vaishnav Vrinda.
Jai.
थैंक यू शिवानी माता जी। और सब एक्सपर्ट बनते जा रहे हैं धीरे धीरे कीर्तन में। और पीछे प्रभु जी को देख के भी आनंद मिला है। देखिए प्रभु जी भी बैठे हैं, चारों पूरे हैं, उनको भी दंडवत प्रणाम करिए। बस ठीक है, कृपा है आपकी।
सब ठीक है।
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
हरे कृष्ण, प्रणाम महाराज।
हरे कृष्ण बाबा जी।
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
How are you, Maharaj?
Doing okay.
कैसी रहो?
Today?
Getting more hot here.
Oh, it was very hot here also, but now in last 1 hour there is a big wind and like a small typhoon here, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yes. So I was remembering Mayapur only. The windows started banging. I suddenly remembered, oh, Mayapur. We remember how strong all these typhoons comes in Mayapur. Strong winds here also. It's like,
Yeah.
yes,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Yes, we can start.
Okay. So we'll continue from Harinaam Cintamani, the chapter 5, and then on the offense the Devantare Svantra Paradha. Swatantra Paradha. In this world of birth and death, one should follow the system of 4 varnas, act righteously and purely serve Lord Krishna. If one follows the 4 varnas but does not worship Krishna, then he will be thrown into hell. Outside of the rules of the varnas, a grihastha should do nothing. All a grihastha's duties are within the varnas. In this world, one should follow the duties of the varnas and also worship Lord Krishna. Following the varnas rules, one should worship Lord Krishna. This is called Bhakti Yoga. By practicing Bhakti Yoga, at the end, one finds ecstatic love for Lord Krishna arises within him. That is the conclusion of all the scriptures. When ecstatic love for Lord Krishna arises, there is no need to follow the many rules and regulations. When the ecstatic love arises, the soul's journey taken in the vehicle of the material body is successful. In this way, a Grihastha Vaishnava attains the Supreme, who is not different from his name. He meets Lord Vishnu, who is not different from his holy name. So here, now we see this is the stage of the Vijnanamaya platform. That's the Daivarnashrama. So not only the Grihasthas, but everybody should be following the duties of the Varna and Ashrama, then within the Daivarnashrama Dharma. Means the center is Krishna, and everything is done for Krishna. Then, at the end, one will come to the platform of Anandamaya. But if it's not following, then he will stay on the Savarmanamaya platform, and he will not be able to get above the bodily platform. So that's the difference between the, you can say, the ordinary Varnashrama and the Daivi Varnashrama, like we were talking about yesterday a little bit.
Maharaj, this term, Devi Varnashram, is it given by Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Did he coin the term, Devi Varnashram?
I'm not sure, because this one is a translation, the book.
Okay.
It's not written in English.
Okay.
Now, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, or the Acharyas, they actually refer to Varnashrama Dharma as the Daivi Varnashrama Dharma. For them,
Okay.
not any other Varnashrama, it's not really a Varnashrama. So, Like for the Smartas, Varnashrama Dharma means like we say the ordinary Varnashrama Dharma. But for the Vaishnavas, when they say Varnashrama, that means Daivi Varnashrama automatically. Because here he refers to the Varnashrama Dharma, actually following the duties means Bhakti Yoga. And that can be done only in the Daivi Varnashrama. There's no other way how to follow Bhakti Yoga if you don't follow the Daivi Varnashrama.
Okay, Maharaj.
Another truth is that Lord Vishnu is not different from his name, form, and qualities. One should never think that Lord Vishnu is different from his form. Lord Vishnu is non-dual, indivisible, spiritual, and all-powerful. If one does not understand that Lord Vishnu is not different from his name, form, and qualities, that one's chanting will be namabhas. It is not possible to attain pure love for Krishna in this way. By the mercy of bona fide spiritual master, the anartha that is this misunderstanding becomes destroyed. Worshipping and worshipping the holy name, that person eventually attains the stage of pure chanting. So here it's also very nicely explained then what can be done, what should be done, and if it's not followed, like here then he describes that not realizing that Lord Vishnu is not, the name is not different from his form, then that will only lead, the chanting of such a person will lead only to namabhas. So, but we said, already we spoke about namabhas, and namabhas is very auspicious. Namabhas is very important. It can give everything except pure love. So one has to still come to the platform of Shuddhanam and cannot be satisfied with the namabhas, even though namabhas is almost, you can say, like a 99.99% pure, but it's not pure. And so how to come from the namabhas chanting to the Shuddhanam chanting, then he also describes here that one has to continuously chant, perform devotional services. By that, the anarthas get destroyed, because the anarthas in the heart, they are cause of our desires, unwanted desires. And the desires are the cause of our unwanted activities. And these activities make us to commit sinful activities. And the sinful activities then make us to not chant properly. So remove the anarthas, then the attachment to the desire to commit the sinful activities will also disappear. And therefore, we'll be able to chant the Shuddhanam.
Maharaj, can you repeat the last one again, please?
Last means which one? How much?
Just the last 2 minutes, Maharaj. You explained the sequence. Just explain the sequence again.
The anarthas, they are the seeds of unwanted desires. So the anarthas, they lead to our desiring which we don't really want by intelligence. It's the mind which desires that. We are attached to it because of the anarthas. Now, these desires then will naturally lead to activities which we will committing according to our desires. But because the desires are based on the anarthas, so the activities also will be unwanted, like the anarthas. And these unwanted activities are sinful activities because they are not connected to Krishna. So, and because of that, then we will be not able to chant Shuddhanam, because even while chanting, we'll be just thinking about ourselves.
Yes,
so removing the anarthas, then it will remove the desires to commit something which is unwanted. It will minimize or stop us committing sinful activities, and we will be able to remember and think of Krishna while chanting the holy name, and therefore the chanting from Namabhas will turn into Shuddhanam. Now we are talking about devotees. We are talking about devotees. So devotees not having this, not dealing with the anarthas and desires and unwanted activities, committing some sinful activities, they are doing that, but they don't want that. So therefore, they will be always looking for a solution, being very regretful and finding ways how to remove the anarthas. So therefore, the chanting is now Namabhas, because even though they commit some aparadha, that it's not considered as a namaparad because they are not doing it purposefully. It's just by the influence of the modes. Now, they are looking for a solution. Because of they are looking for the solution, eventually they will find the solution by the help of the Vaishnavas, Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So that's the difference. So they are not chanting Namaparad, they are chanting Namabhas. And by chanting Namabhas, that means constantly looking for the solution, how to find the solution to the problems, committing the sinful activities. They will come naturally to the platform of Shuddhanam. So it's the attitude, it's the consciousness with which they chant.
And also the desire, Maharaj, that they have continuous desire to get over this stage. We can say like this.
Yes, that's very important, that they have to have that. So the desire is there, and because it's not happening, so then the desire also is, how can I improve? So they go to the deities and they pray to the deities, no, please help me, I cannot overcome my problem. Krishna, help me, please, no, what should I do? Praying to the Vaishnavas. And then Dharate Pratigrihnati, Guhyamti Pichati, Bhokte Bojayate. So these activities, those are the ones which help the devotees to get more encouragement, get more strength, to get rid of the anarthas. Because the anartha, as we were discussing before, the anartha is based on the ahankar. Now, ahankar is like the false ego. I think I am this. And then, me doing activities like this and like that, that's what makes me who am I. So now, if these, and then such a person will also have some fear to get rid of the anarthas, because as long as the false ego is strong, then the desires and the activities of the person makes the person. But if I get rid of desires to do things certain way, which makes me who am I, and that makes the circle of my friends, then if I get rid of this, then what will my friends say? They will not be happy with me. They will give up on me. And who will be my friend then? So the fear is the cause of not giving up the desires, the anarthas. So everything happens in the association of sadhus. So seeing that the devotees, they deal differently, and then eventually become comfortable and confident. Okay, I also would like style like that. So I can change my lifestyle, and I don't care what my old friends will say, because I know that the new lifestyle, which I see the devotees are following, is much better. So therefore, I am willing to do that. But he must be confident that he can do it. Otherwise, he will not give up. Then that will be, then the devotees live kind of like a two lifestyle. One for like their friends, and then going to the temple, and then living the lifestyle like of Vaishnava, nice, doing things. But as soon as he comes out to the temple, then he must be somebody else, because he must be pleasing his friends. He's unable to, to really say well, look, I really think that Vaishnavism is the philosophy of my life, which I want to follow. Now, if you want to be my friend still, you are more than welcome. But I have my sadhana, my habits, and please accept it. And if you don't like it, well, okay, I cannot really help you, but I'm not going to change for that. That's when he becomes convinced. So and he becomes convinced when the anarthas become removed to like a majority of the anarthas become removed, and therefore then his lifestyle becomes nishta, his bhakti becomes nishta, so it's nishta bhakti. Then he becomes more steady, and then he is comfortable to say, well, okay, I don't want to do that. No, says, come with us. No, let's go for a drink and we can discuss that. Said, no. I promised I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to drink. I'm not going to eat meat. I'm not going to break any of the regulative principles. No, please, no. If you want, they will say, well, okay, if you don't go with us, you're not our friend anymore. Well, okay, so what can I do? No, if you want to discuss, come to the temple. No, we can discuss there. So that's when the devotee becomes steady. Nobody can really convince him otherwise. He is steady. He is comfortable in what he is doing, and therefore his sadhana becomes nishtita. And then because of that, even though material attachments are still there, but they are weaker. So therefore, even though the mind comes up with demands, but the intelligence has a stronger say. So therefore, even though there are some ripples kind of like it, but the intelligence always says, no, we will not do. No, you have to get up in the morning. You have to sit down and chant the round. Oh, but I want to, no, just chant. And so because of that, then the influence of the material energy, influence of the mind becomes weaker and weaker, and the process of devotional service becomes much faster from that point, because we are not dealing with the gross attachment to the material world anymore. That's the position of the devotee at the stage of anartha nivritta anishta.
Yes, Maharaj. And that Dadati Prati Granati, one can do with all three, Maharaj, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra.
One can do?
That Dadati Prati Granati, those 6 loving exchanges, one can have with Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. I mean, with any of them.
Yes, yeah. It's Sadhu Sangha. No, it's performing Sadhu Sangha. So, no, that Sadhu Sangha, no, and the medium can be the Shastra. No, can be anything, really. And that's the beauty of it. And it's beautiful, it's nice. It's very pleasurable. So it's not like a dry philosophy, like maybe some Christianity or something like that. It's the Vedic, the Krishna culture. No, it's very rich, very beautiful. Just we have to give up on our gross attachments to enjoy the material world.
So what is sustaining, Maharaj, here? Sorry, Maharaj. What is sustaining, a struggling devotee in a Namabhas stage and not letting him fall down to Namaprad is that there is a constant tussle between the mind and the intelligence, and he's fearful, and also he's repentant, right? And he's constantly looking for solutions. Is that right, Maharaj?
At that point, Sadhu Sangha, it's extremely important. So he's looking for solutions. So Guhyam Akti Prichati, now it's prominent. He goes and he's looking for a solution. He's open. He's opening his mind, opening his heart to a devotee who he trusts, and he wants some solutions to his problems. And he may get some solution. He tries, it doesn't work, but he's not giving up. Now he understands that eventually there is a solution, so he will continue chanting, and at the same time continue looking for the solution which will help him to focus more on the chanting. So he is not giving up, and that brings him to the platform of Harinaam, because he is very determined, focused and determined.
So he's falling down but getting up and starts running again, then falls down, then gets up again.
He is not making philosophy of his mistakes. He is not accepting, okay, that's me. And anybody does it every day. Everybody is doing it, just nobody is saying it. So then at least I'll be honest. No. So it's like that. No. So, and accept it or not as you like. No, he's not doing philosophy out of it. Like there are sometimes devotees, they just have philosophy. We follow 3 regulative principles or 3.5, right? No. So, and make philosophy out of it. No, that's wrong. Rather, it should be, okay, I cannot follow everything, but still I want to. Now, my attachment is so strong, and therefore I don't know how to. But please, can somebody help me? What should I do to be able to follow to follow the way how it's supposed to be? What am I doing wrong? What should I do to overcome my problems, my difficulties? And constantly looking for a solution. It may take a long time, or maybe a short time, whatever it takes, but not giving up. There is a solution. So as long as he is doing it, so his consciousness is constantly improving, even slowly, but constantly improving. And he is going to find a solution. Now, if he gives up and say, okay, that's okay. No, I'm satisfied. Devotees, they honor me. Now, I feel I have got certain positions, so that's fine. So now I can do whatever nonsense I want, and then I will maintain the position. No, then he's falling. Then he is not chanting Navabhas.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Maharaj.
The speculative philosophers claim that Lord Krishna is different from his name, form, and qualities. That idea is an offense. An offense they do not abandon. The Mayavadis say, the supreme truth is the impersonal Brahman, which is qualityless, changeless, and formless. Lord Vishnu's names and forms are all created by Maya. When Maya disappears, Vishnu merges into the impersonal Brahman. All these ideas are illusions, fallacies. The Mayavadis' mistakes is that they think the Supreme is ultimately void, that he has no potencies. Actually, the Supreme Brahman has all potencies. He is Vishnu. Vishnu and Brahman are the same Supreme. Only the names are different. That is the conclusion of the Vedas. Lord Vishnu is the supreme truth. He has a qualityless feature and a feature with qualities. Still, he remains one. So, the Mayavadis think Brahman is the topmost, and from him then everything manifests. Maya manifests, and then Maya actually manifests everything, including the Lord. So therefore it's temporary. And that's a very great offense. Now our philosophy is that Brahman is also a feature of the Lord, but the supreme feature of the Lord is the two-handed form of Krishna. And from him, then other forms manifest. But there are personal forms, and feature of the personal forms are also some impersonal qualities or impersonal Brahman. So now, like we were discussing before, now the Mayavadis, there's a certain level of consciousness. They understand certain things. And beyond that, they are unable to understand. Like the person with the lower level of consciousness cannot understand the higher level of consciousness unless is given to him and he accepts it. Then he can come to the platform. So the Mayavadis, they don't want to. They think that this is the topmost. And therefore, this is the topmost for them. And they are unable to understand anything higher than that. Same like the animals are unable to understand more than that's me and food. And my right is to take the food. And if somebody else wants to come to take the food, I can fight for it. That's my right. And anything else like sharing the food and like that, that's not in the agenda of thinking of these animals. They are unable to do. That's the level of consciousness. So it's by the mercy of the spiritual master, by the mercy of Guru Sadhu Shastra, that we are unable to, if not fully understand and realize, then at least be aware of that something like that exists. Like the platform of Anandamaya. So we know it exists, we accept it exists, but we may not have still tasted or just the very minimum. But by following the instruction of the spiritual master, we can also come to the platform of Anandamaya. We know where the goal is, we know where to go, what to do, how to do it. That's the descending process as we were talking about. It's very safe. But the ascending process, you don't know where the goal is. You don't know which direction you should go. So you get lost. It's like if you get into the forest and you have no compass, then you don't know which way, it's the direction, which way to go, and you get lost. But if you have the direction, then you can just go straight and then you will find your way.
Yes, yes, Maharaj. Maharaj says that these Mayavadis, they will not even be at the platform of Jnanamaya. Like you said, animal consciousness, that is a Annamaya, then Pranamaya. Then these Mayavadis, they won't be at Jnanamaya, or they will be at Jnanamaya.
They will be on they're on the Manamoya platform. They are still, now they are a little above the Manamoya platform, but they are not worshipping the Supreme to trying to come to the Anandamaya. So therefore, they are not on the pure stage of Vijnanamaya. Their consciousness is somewhat beyond the bodily consciousness, you can say, but it's not on the consciousness, on the platform of consciousness, which it takes them out of this material world, which is the Vijnanamaya.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Because these 5 levels of consciousness, those are like 5 basic levels of consciousness. In between, there are so many other levels, yes, which maybe some sadhus, some shastras mention some names, but we deal just with these 5 because they cover the stages which we need to understand. Okay. You can break them down to so many other levels, but there is no need for it.
It is like, Maharaj, how we say Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttam, but there is Madhyam, 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 Uttam, Uttam, Kanishta, yes, like that.
We should not see it as like a box. No, it's a Kanishta box, and then he jumps into the Madhyama box, and then so some activities may be more Madhyama, some still maybe Kanishta, some may be on Uttama platform. So there is always like the Sandhi. There is some I would say it.
Overlapping.
Yeah, overlapping. Yes. So the consciousness, levels of consciousness also overlap. Some activities may be on the lower level, but some on the higher level. Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you.
Breaking apart all obstacles, Lord Vishnu's inconceivable potencies easily reveal the Lord's sublime handsomeness. The individual souls, however, have very small intelligence. They do not have inconceivable potencies. if they try with their limited intelligence to understand the Supreme Controller, they will attain only a very limited understanding of him. They do not have much power to understand him. If they turn from Lord Vishnu and worship demigods or the impersonal Brahman, they will be in the position that where they do not know what is good for them and what is not. Persons who understand the true spiritual nature of the Supreme know that Lord Vishnu is not different from his names and qualities. Like we were discussing yesterday about the ascending knowledge, trying to understand what is universe. So they don't understand. They use some theories. Like Srila Prabhupada talks about that. Okay, they have some the Einstein theory of relativity. It applies to some aspects, but some aspects then it's not applicable. But they don't know where it is applicable, where it's not. They are trying to figure it out by trying it, testing it. Like now the coronavirus, and they don't know how to make the vaccine. No, and once they make the vaccine, it will be only for some strains of the virus, and for some it will not work. There is a good chance that by the time when they make it, it will not work at all, because it's like a flu. It's a virus, and it constantly changes. So they are unable to cope up with the nature. The nature is always a step ahead, or many steps ahead, actually. So they are not looking into the root. They are trying to always catch up with something, but they are unable to. They will only make things worse. If they try to make some virus, then genetically modified, which is supposed to kill this one, then they will only make it worse. They tried to genetically modify some mosquitoes so that they will not be carrying malaria, and they let the mosquitoes out, but not through breeding some other type of mosquito which carries the malaria, and it's much more productive, reproductive than was born. Or you have the killer bees. It's also a combination. They wanted something to have some honey bees which will produce more honey. So they they breed together some species of some African bees with the honey bees, and it comes to that they are very aggressive killer bees. So whatever they do, if something works for them in the laboratory, they think they have it, but they put it into the nature, and in the nature there is the combination of with other species, and whatever happens, how it happens, and it becomes something completely different, which they predicted, and it's out of the control. Like we see that in Australia they put the rabbits out in Australia, and because in Australia they didn't have any natural predators, so then the rabbits just overpopulated, and they were a cause of destroying populations of other animals there. So people are very stupid. They are thinking that we are the most intelligent, so what we do must work, because they don't understand that there is a higher intelligence, which if we follow that and being humble servant of that higher intelligence, everything will work. Yes, but if we think that we can understand everything, then naturally we will be taught a lesson. And that's what I explained here, that the living being, they have a limited intelligence, but they think that the limited intelligence is everything was there. So I understand everything, and therefore I can act like a controller, Ishvara. And then this is where the problem starts.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. A saintly devotee takes shelter of the holy name alone. He worships Lord Krishna as the only supreme Lord. He turns from other deities. However, he does not blaspheme the demigods or other scriptures, saying, they are servants of Lord Krishna. He worships and honors the demigods. Every day, Grihastha devotee places offering before Lord Krishna. With these offerings, he places the demigods, Pitris, and people, demigods, Pitris, and people in general. When he sees the deities of the demigods, he says, he's a servant of Lord Krishna. And then he bows down to offer respect. But you see, now, Lord Shiva, we know him as the best of the Vaishnavas. Some follow, no, they worship him as Bhagavan. But no, we know he's not Bhagavan, but he is the greatest of the devotees. So when we do offerings to him, we offer him Krishna Prasad, and he is very happy. But if you offer bhoga to Lord Shiva, he will not accept it. He will himself offer it first to the Lord and then take the remnants. But just that thinking that, okay, he is the supreme, I'm offering to him and I'm not considering the Lord, this is the offense which the person makes. So this is actually the greatest philosophy, greatest understanding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. If you look at Sri Vaishnavas, for Sri Vaishnavas, the demigods are like a despicable. No, they will not even touch them, they will not even look at them. Because they understand kind of like they are not the supreme, so therefore they are like they are not even worth of mentioning their name and anything. Once in Sri Rangam, they were going with Ranganath outside for the procession, and it started to heavily rain. And they were nearby, I think there was Shiva temple there. They would not go inside to hide the Lord. They would stay outside, on the rain, wait till it stops. They would not go inside. No. So they have a grudge towards them. But we don't. Because we understand they are Vaishnavas. So we worship them as Vaishnavas. And we have no problem with that. So that's our philosophy. If the Mayavadis worship Lord Vishnu and offer things to him, out of fear, the devotees will not accept the remnants of those offerings. Because the Mayavadis, the consciousness is wrong. So we will not accept it. The Mayavadis are offenders to the Lord's holy name. Whatever worship they offer, Lord Krishna does not accept. To accept the remnants of offering to the demigods is an offense. Pure devotees never accept such offerings. However, when he worships Lord Vishnu, a pure devotee may also worship the demigods and then offer to them the remnants of what he had first offered to Lord Vishnu. To accept these remnants is not an offense. Worship of the demigods done in this way does not block advancement in devotional service. A pure devotee does not commit offenses to the holy name. Chanting the holy name, he attains pure love for Lord Krishna. The holy name makes him glorious. So, like in many Hindu families, they worship Ganesh, Durga. So, if we worship them, then we should worship them only with the Krishna Prasad. That's what they accept. Like, for example, some worship Kali, and Kali is a fearful form of Durga. So now she seemingly now drinks the blood of her enemies, but actually it's not true. She is vegetarian, so she is not drinking any blood. But no, whatever no is being offered to her, so she does give it to her entourage, which are the Bhutas. So when somebody no is killing some goat offering to Kali, and let's say Kali Prasad, actually it's a Bhuta Prasad. No, so then it's very inauspicious. She doesn't take it. There's no Prasad, Bhuta Prasad. It's like a drishti. Although one may have foolishly thought Lord Vishnu on the same level as the demigods, if one understands the truth of Lord Vishnu and also repents his previous misunderstanding, then Lord Vishnu will forgive his offense. The offender will then be careful not to commit that offense again. So that's the remedy, right? As the anarthas are removed, heart is purified, consciousness now is now elevating, and then now suddenly he realizes, oh, I have thought about Lord Vishnu as one of the demigods, or I have thought that some demigods is higher than Vishnu. So now there is no need to do anything more than constantly chant the holy name and sort your understanding. Now you understand that Krishna is the source of all incarnations, and all the energies come from Krishna, and the energies are also the demigods, they come from Krishna. So worshipping Krishna is the supreme, is the best way how to worship also the demigods. Just to shift the focus, and that's it. There is nothing else need to do. There is no need for other prayaschita. There is no other need to do repentance, beat himself, or no. There's no need for that, like some Christians do. We just, okay, now I understand. We may beg for forgiveness and continue doing devotional service. That's all. Lord Krishna is the friend of his devotees. His nature is to forgive their previous mistakes. He is an ocean of mercy, an ocean of forgiveness. A Vaishnava should avoid demigod worshippers. He should worship Lord Vishnu. This Harinaam Cintamani is the very life of Bhakti Vinod, who stays as Haridasa's feet. So that's the end of this chapter. And yeah, we have some time. Then are there some questions?
Okay. Thank you so much, Maharaj. We don't know how 1 hour 45 minutes passes. It's so fast. It doesn't seem 45, 1 hour means very less. Okay. Yes. J.K. Das Prabhu, you have a question? And other devotees who have question, please raise your hands so we can see you, and then we can ask questions. Yes, J.K. Das Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for your nice discourse. Verse number 48, it is written that in this world one should follow the duties of the Varnas and also worship Lord Krishna. My question is that, is it possible to stay in city and family to practice Varnashram, number one? And number two, Prabhupada said that his 50% mission is incomplete because he is yet to establish Varnashram Dharma. So what does it mean in that context?
Yeah, you see, the Varnashrama Dharma, then it's a set of rules and regulations which are being followed based on the Varna and based on the Ashrama. So everybody has to, first of all, and understand where they belong and their duties, what they are supposed to do. Now, this is a philosophy. That's what yeah, that's the theory. But then practically, now how do you, because you have to live it. One thing is you know it, you read it in the book, no, you learn it, memorize it, no, you can memorize Manu Samhita, so you know what the rules are. You can read Bhagavatam, that's very nice. But okay, that was 5,000 years ago, and now we live in the city, so we have to follow something else, be practical. So not like this, because these rules applied millions of years ago, they applied 5,000 years ago, and they apply now also. But we have to understand how do they apply. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada, he gave the simple sadhana, what applies for the devotees. Like we were discussing yesterday. You follow the sadhana by getting up early morning, chanting your japa, going for Mangalarati, reading Shastra, offering prasadam, offering bhoga, eating prasadam, and associating with devotees. This is Brahmanic culture, and that's what then Vaishnavas do. That's a Vaishnava's life. So now the different, or what's missing between the theory, what we learn, and the practical application, it's the culture. So we need to learn the culture. What does it mean? How do we apply this theory in practice? How do we live it? And that's the Brahmanic culture. That's the Krishna culture. So when Srila Prabhupada speaks about establishing the Varnashrama, he speaks about that because he gave the rules. But now, how to change the Westerners, now how to make them accept the culture so they live it, not just talk about it, but actually live it, so then they can realize it. That's the mission which needs to be now farther brought. That's the boiling milk down. Now, how we apply it in our lives. So now, okay, you may say, in the villages or in some farm communities, it's easier because it's very conducive. It's very sattvic. Yes, that's true. And yes, it's the most conducive. And in the cities, it's very passionate atmosphere. So, but even in the city, if you want, you can still find a way how to follow. You don't have to socialize till midnight. No, you can go to sleep earlier. You can go to sleep with reading Bhagavatam before you go to sleep, and you go to sleep earlier. You can get up earlier. Of course, the influence of the city.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Is it frozen?
Yeah, I think we
It is
lost
frozen.
connection.
Frozen. I lost the connection.
Yeah, I think from Maharaj side,
Yes.
we lost the connection.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Swara Prabhu is not there today? Maharaj has come.
Sorry, that seems
Yes, Maharaj.
was some glitch in the internet. Yeah, I don't know how much did you hear, but I was saying about devotee in Zurich that now he goes to sleep at 7:30 and he gets up at 1 o'clock, and then early morning, very peaceful, he chants his rounds, he does Mangalarati, he reads Bhagavatam before he goes to work. So basically, before he leaves the house, and whatever he does, it's always very Krishna conscious. Now he of course sacrifices other things like some socializing late at night, but because he wants to do it, he finds a way, and somehow his friends accepted it, and some people stop being maybe friends with him because that's not fun with him. So you how serious to get with your devotion, and if you want to be really serious, then maybe just move into Mayapur or Vrindavan or some other farm community where devotees are in the wet for devotional service. Raising our children will be easier, very sattvic. But of course, it's a great sacrifice. Not everybody can do that. But honestly, he is taking up the desire to perform or to do the best, whatever he can. Could you hear?
Only last 10-20 seconds we didn't hear, otherwise we heard Maharaj.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying that it depends on what they can do, what they will do. If they do it, okay, important for me right now, so I have to do it, and then I will do whatever minimum I can do for the devotional activities, or sacrifice the social life and more focus on the devotional activities, or move out of the city and then go into some other devotees communities, and fully embrace that. It very much depends on the into how much they can. Yeah.
Yes, Maharaj, I think. Are you satisfied, J.K. Das Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, because there is some link was disconnected. What I understand is that if one gets opportunity to live in farm community or in Vrindavan or Mayapur, if he has the opportunity, he can go there for better conducive atmosphere. Otherwise, if he stays in the city, then he can sacrifice his social outings. He can sleep early and wake up also very early in the morning, do Mangal Arti and do Japa and do his job or business, whatever, and do Bhakti. That is what Maharaj told and what I understand. Is it correct, Maharaj, what I understood?
Yeah, okay. So you have to socialize to some extent. That's a very natural thing. No, it's not very predominant. It's not the topmost priority. Grihastha couple can easily move more no, stop doing all these to do before, and that time they can go maybe to sleep earlier. And if even that, sure that when you become elder, you can move into some dham. You can now start embracing more the grihastha, more the vanaprastha lifestyle, rather than it's a natural progress. It depends on how far can he go with the sacrifice.
Yes, Maharaj.
Good, not to make some. Okay, now I will leave everything and I will become vanaprastha. The responsibility is to raise the children properly. And now he leaves, then the children will not grow properly, and later on they will blame, fully absorbing Krishna consciousness. Then he will feel guilty that he didn't do everything what he could have done. Will be great obstacle in his progress in devotional service. So everything has. That's why now the duties of the varnas and ashram together. We will not need to feel guilty how it was prescribed, and therefore even if things will not go 100% right, because in material world, but we will be content. We can still focus on like our fault. Hare Krishna. You could hear?
No, Maharaj, we couldn't hear.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Now you can hear?
Yes, yes, Maharaj.
Now we can hear, Maharaj.
Okay. So yeah, I was saying that following the rules and regulations of the Varna and ashrama, now according to the Daivi Varna ashrama, means worshipping Krishna being the priority, then you will come to the stage that you will perform things, what you are supposed to, what you are told to. And now the outcomes of these activities will not be perfect anyway. There is no activity in the material world which is perfect. But it will be to the best of your capacity, depending on your intelligence, depending on your consciousness, depending on so many aspects. But even if it doesn't go 100% right, then you will not feel guilty that it's your fault. You had done things properly, and therefore not feeling, not having the guilt. You can focus on devotional activities, and not being disturbed by that. Because if you have some devotional activities, you follow devotional activities, you follow Krishna consciousness, but then some personal problems come, and naturally, then the devotional activities, the sadhana is the first thing to go. Oh no, I'm depressed. I cannot chant. No, I cannot read. I cannot go to the temple. No, even though it shouldn't, but that's a natural thing. No, that we just do this. So now feeling, oh, because of me, my children became so bad because I left them. So now I have to go back to them and I have to make up for it. So you will not be able to. But the guilt that you had done things wrong, and because of that, they feel that they don't like you or whatever, that will go with you, and you will not be able to focus on your spiritual activities. So therefore, it's good to do things properly as a grihasta, take care of your children. Now, when they grow up, then accept vanaprastha, and then withdraw more from the social activities, focus more on the studying, chanting, reading, discussing. And at the time when the city it's not very conducive, it's too passionate, you cannot do what you could do to your best, then move somewhere to the dham and live there. You can live together with your wife. That's vanaprastha. The first stages of vanaprastha, it's basically living together with one's wife, and then withdraw from the material social activities, like we saw the Gandhari did and Dhritarashtra. So like that.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, so maybe like last question.
One second. Yes, somebody raised a hand. Yes, Dharamveer Prabhu, you raised the hand. Hare Krishna. Mr. Dharamveer, you have raised the hand. Maybe they can't hear. Ravi Prabhu, you had a question?
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, what is the difference between Varnashram Dharam and Devi Varnashram Dharam? Like, is there a difference?
Externally, it may look the same, because the Brahmana who follows the Varnashrama Dharma and who follows the Daiva Varnashrama Dharma, still they would get up early morning, they would take bath, they would chant some japa, they would still do some worship. So externally it may look the same, but internally there's a great difference, because one is going to be worshiping the demigods to do pious activities, but it's going to be mundane, materialistic pious activities, worshiping demigods, asking them for favors. Daiva Varnashrama, the devotee, he does the same style of worship, you can say, but he is doing it for the Lord to please him. He's not asking the Lord for a favors. His pleasure comes from that he knows that he's pleasing the Lord. So externally it will be the same or very similar. But internally there is a difference in why are we doing it.
So one we can say is like the Karam Kand be on the basis of Karam Kand, and other could be on the basis of Bhakti.
Sorry? Again?
So we can say that one is on the basis of Karam Kand and other is on the basis of Bhakti?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Karma Kanda, no, this is Manamoya.
Okay. Okay, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj. No more questions, Maharaj. Yeah. Everybody's just saying we are absorbing what we have heard. Just sending messages
Okay.
for thanks. Yes, Maharaj. ठीक है.
So, all right, yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj.
We'll meet next weekend, Maharaj.
Okay, next week.
Maharaj, can I call you after the session? Can I call you for 2 minutes?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll have a few more minutes. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.